Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. New industries are always emerging. I'm going to tell you what, we hear about recession, we hear that recession word, and, businesses are failing, whole industries are going down. But here's the thing, new industries are always emerging. And I want y'all to think about this. Yeah, there's all this talk about what's happening, but something is going to emerge. Always pay attention. It could be something small. And I'm going to tell you what, I was thinking about that because someone I follow on IG, they involved in like the Baltimore poetry scene. And they were saying how it was a whole economy. Now think about it. You got a whole economy based on, like a mini economy based on poetry in a local area. Poetry, And I thought about that because you can apply that to anything. Because here's the thing. A recession just means there's no growth in the businesses overall, the economy overall. It's not expanding. People aren't making as much money. Indeed, I've been reading some stuff about, places like FedEx or Amazon. They cutting back. That means people aren't buying as much. Okay. But here's the thing. People gonna spend money on something because they still people. If you think about business, what's still going someplace? Real estate, people always need to sleep. Clothing, people always need to wear clothes. Food, people always need to eat. So on that level, you always have something. But then people have different desires, different things. Think about smartphones. Think about smartphones, okay? I remember when they first came out and people was like, oh, that's cute. They like cell phones, but then you could do so much. How many industries have came about just because of the smartphone? Like you can make $1 million if you come up with an app. You can make $1 million. You look at some place like some rideshare programs, how much you can do on here. A lot of I can run my business from a smartphone. So you got everything. So they create new phones. You got the covers for it. I've seen some places, I've seen kiosks, all they have is covers for a smartphone. And then you got, I have a protector on the glass. That's an industry. It's like something. So because what's the thing? People want the smartphones. And it still hasn't reached saturation point. There are still people who actually don't have smartphones. Mostly older people, but still. That means you still got a ways to go. And then even a lot of younger people, they might not have the latest. So you still got some. So you got a whole industries just based on one device. And because people using it. Now, if you think about, it could be something else. People could come up with an idea and then other people are interested in it. People could say, people could create a whole industry based on like singles meetings. Singles meetings is like singles clubs or something. We still have them, but somebody could say, you know what, there's a better way for people to meet. Boom. It could be anything people want. It could be on some type of food, or some type of somebody could come up with a way to do food. Somebody could come up with a way to do food, a dish or something like that could create a whole industry based on it. Somebody like a clothing style, anything, or an idea. This is like stuff I can't even think about, but somebody might have an idea for it. It was like, hey, we can make a lot of money this way, because they always going to emerge, because no matter what falls, something else coming up. Okay, like you got a lot of restaurants going down. A lot of restaurant chains going down. But as I've talked about the rising vegan population. And there's a vegan, it's called Slutty Vegan. I'll see if I can find a link for them. They expanding like crazy and they got lines. And that's like a whole industry, like fast food. It's basically, I don't know how fast their food is, but a restaurant chain based on vegan food. And that can create a whole other thing. Speaking of vegans, just the rise in them there's so many things being created based on it. So many things. Or here's another example, the cannabis. As states legalize cannabis, especially particularly recreational, you got a whole bunch of things based on it. Like I have some cannabis magazines upstairs based on the industry, more the business side. There was so much. I mean, it had articles on, of course, edibles and stuff like that, growing them. That was the main thing. But people are actually making clothes from hemp. You can make clothes from hemp. In fact, you can make a lot of stuff from hemp. You could probably read, if every single U.S. state legalized like cannabis, the use of it. There's so many other things other than smoking it. People got food products and everything. It's really changing some stuff. And there's so many things, because the thing is, it comes down to this. New industries are going to always emerge because people are always going to need something. They're going to need something. They're going to need to maybe be entertained. They're going to need to meet people. They're going to need places to go. Like, I'm going to tell you what could, because, there's been talk the past few years of malls going down, and there's plenty of malls closing. But then I had an article, and I don't know if I can find that joint, but the article was talking about, like, you get some of these malls, they put in entertainment places and everything. Some even have like roller coasters and stuff. Brings in people. Like, and then some people are talking about turning some of the malls into like some living quarters and everything. People still need to sleep. It's like, it's so many. I can't, like I said, there could be stuff out there I'm not even thinking about. Because I try to stay focused on anything related to what I do to make money. But it could be so much. That's another thing. Say if somebody come up with a new genre of fiction, you can create a whole industry off of it. Like the publishing industry, one thing I like about it, there are so many jobs you can create just publishing books. I mean, writers, you got editors, artists, book printers, marketing people. And it could be on a totally different genre. That's my word. It's a simple word, my word to triple. Genre of fiction, a style of fiction. You can make movies from it. I mean, there's so much. And I'm going to get more into like just looking at business anyway, because there's so much to it. But always know that no matter what, industries are always emerging. It's just a matter of paying attention to what the industry is. And that's what a lot of rich investors will do. That's what they'll do. Where everything going down, they'll look for, okay, something coming up. They say like during the Great Recession, there were a lot of people who made money off of it. They jump into stuff. Like imagine the people who invested early in smartphones. So anyway, y'all know the deal. Keep an eye out for what's coming up. Keep an eye out for what people are getting into. All right. So anyway, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.